For us at Victory Outdoors, it's 365 days a year. We are doing something to try to best that big buck. We had a great sit this morning. I saw probably our best action so far this fall. I couldn't be more stoked. Filled my Iowa tag. Man, that was awesome. Good job, buddy.
Heck yeah, bud.
Yes.
You're watching Victory Outdoors, proudly presented by Expedition Archery.
You know, a lot of times people talk about killing big bucks in July, and they're really talking about preparation. And preparation is key, whether it's you're shooting your bow, whether it's planting food plots, putting out trail cameras, whatever it is that you're doing on the off season to get ready to hunt. And for us at Victory Outdoors, it's 365 days a year. We are doing something to try to best that big buck. All right, we're out here. It's July. We're getting our trail cameras out. Just about the last one. Gonna put out a little bit of white gold and see if we can't get some pictures of some of our shooters. My year-round obsession starts with shooting my bow. I want to be prepared as possible. So anytime I can, I try to shoot my bow. I live in town, so I really kind of limits my opportunities, but my father-in-law lives outside of town, so every time we're out visiting my father-in-law, if I can, I take my bow along. And we got a pretty cool little range set up with our Delta McKenzie targets. And we get a little shooting in from time to time, but that's one way. Long summer nights and that kind of stuff, like, you know, shooting right down to dark kind of emulates those shot opportunities that come as the light is waning. One of the other things that I love to do is I just am stoked when it comes to planting food plots. It's one of those things you can take an active role in pursuing that animal and trying to put them in a place that gives you the advantage as the hunter. You know, and in Iowa, our rules are set up that we're allowed to do that. And so I like to put in what I call kill plots. So we planted this food plot 2.5 weeks ago, and we planted white gold's gold mine. And so gold mine has got a great spread of some bulbs, some clover. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to fill in a few of the gaps. Our cedar wasn't broadcasting it quite as wide, but we did get really good coverage. It really looks actually really good, but we're just gonna fill in a few holes, especially close to where we're gonna have our stand. So we're gonna have a box blind basically set up right here in the corner. Should be great. Really excited about this plot. It looks awesome so far. I think these sugar beets and the turnips and radishes are gonna do really good out here, full sun. So something that you guys, you know, you don't need big equipment and that kind of stuff. Like this is a really cheap Scott's turf builder. You can buy it at any Walmart. But what it'll do is it'll allow you to do these food plots, especially the small ones. Now, if you get too big, you're gonna probably need to buy yourself more of a larger broadcast seeder or even a drill. But what we're doing here is we're actually filling in where our pull behind kind of missed. So we have a lot of seed on the ground. And we're gonna have a great food plot here, but we just wanted to make it that one step better. And we're gonna fill in just a little bit with this little guy here.
This segment is brought to you by HuntStand.
One of the cool features of HuntStand when it comes to food plots is being able to look up the soils. So what you do is you draw out your food plot area in HuntStand, and then you're able to basically bring up a little report for that polygon that you created, and that gives you all the soil types, and then it gives you a little bit of background about what that soil type consists of. So it's going to tell you whether or not it's sandy soil or whether it's a loam type soil. That'll kind of give you an idea what kind of seeds will do best there. And maybe maybe it's, you know, if it's really sandy and you are accustomed to having hot, dry summers, it may not be the greatest place to like put a clover plot. You might want to put, you know, a late summer planting with turnips or some sort of brassica. And so what happens is you actually go into the app, you draw out the food plot, you pull up your soils, and you're able to take that information. You can even go to your co-op and get information for fertilizer. Super useful way to use your HuntStand app, and not something that it sometimes gets overlooked. So it's something that you might want to look into if you're doing food plots. All right, we're heading in here to this food plot. We just put a little fertilizer on it. We're supposed to get some rain. We're only a couple days away from the season. We're actually going to put some scrape fix out on our looking branches and stuff, so should be all good. But food plots look amazing. We're just trying to make sure that we can get some bucks in front of the cameras. Got a reveal set up on this mock scrape, and hopefully make it a little more enticing. We're going to swap out this willow stick, get a new willow stick, and we'll see what happens. So going into the season, Dennis and I had identified 2 different target bucks. Dennis was after an absolute stud, but I was after another giant that I called G3. And G3 was a cool buck. He had a forked G3, hence the name. And what I was really wanting to do is just just raise the bar from what I had shot the previous year. So the previous year I'd shot a really nice buck. It was had a split G2. So I kind of just gravitated towards that forked tine, and man, he gave us lots of pictures on the reveal. To go along with food plots, we like to utilize white gold, and they've got a lot of products that are attractants. And so we're trying to take their attractants, so whether that's pay dirt or whether that is gold dust, those are our 2 favorite attractants from white gold. We're trying to use those to get deer in front of our trail cameras. And the reveal cam, you know, the great thing about those cell cams is that you get those photos instantly. You don't have to go in and check. So we're gonna try to draw those deer in. We're gonna put out a little bit of the pay dirt or the gold dust, and that's gonna bring those deer and get them in front of that picture. And so we're trying to build an inventory of bucks. And so we can kind of target some deer. That doesn't mean that we're gonna shoot those deer, but at least it helps get us out of bed in the morning.
This segment is brought to you by Element Outdoors.
Alright, well, we're gonna hunt our food plots. The corn is still in, and hopefully it comes out soon. The combines are running, but right here close to one of the main farms we hunt, we still have all this corn in around us, and so it's kind of definitely limited the action that we've seen the last couple of days. It's November 2nd. You know, we're getting closer and closer to the actual rut. And there's deer on the move. We just haven't seen the numbers that we're used to for this area. So hopefully here in the next, couple of days that corn comes out. But for now, we're going to sit over our white gold food plots and hope that will draw on some does and the bucks will follow. So we'll see what happens. All right, well, we had a great sit this morning. Saw probably our best action so far this fall. Lots of small bucks moving. We did see a couple of shooters at a distance, but we're just hoping that we're in a good spot. We know that this spot, that the deer are going to travel through this area. It's just a matter of getting that buck on a doe and it being the right buck. So we're hopeful that some of these mature bucks will finally get on their feet this afternoon. This is our first afternoon hunting this particular set. So with any amount of luck, the bucks will be on their feet and either Dennis or I will get a shot. So November was a grind. The deer were moving like crazy. We were trying to make moves to get on our target bucks, and we were having encounter after encounter after encounter of good bucks, but just not quite the ones we were looking for. And we absolutely had a blast, but it was wearing on us. And we were literally, we were taking leave off of work to hunt. Dennis, he doesn't take leave. He's a business owner, so time spent away from his business, his money out of his pocket. We were grinding. We were doing everything we could to put deer on the ground, and it was fun, but it was also a little stressful because we were making moves to get on these giants, and we seemed to be one step behind. We just needed that opportunity. So Dennis needed to take a few days to get back to work, and I took that opportunity to take Carrie, my wife, out.
It's November 13th, and we are hunting where I killed my first bow buck. And hopefully I'll get something today because there are a lot of does around here. So should at least see them.
She'd been kind of bugging me that, hey, I've been pregnant the last 2 years, it's my turn to bow hunt. So we went ahead and we got out and bow hunted, and it was a quick hunt. We were maybe in the stand for 15 minutes, and we had a mature doe standing 15 yards away. Carrie's got it figured out on how you kill deer. First of all, you hit them in the heart. They don't go 50 yards, and then when they do die, they die in the road ditch. What? Like, I'm not kidding you. We're like 30 yards from our SUV. Now we called in her dad's truck, the father-in-law's truck, but look, I'm not kidding you. Boom. Died in the road ditch, and she smoke citied him. She's toast. Nice. So at times during the season, our schedules didn't match up, and I wasn't able to hunt with Dennis. And lo and behold, one morning Dennis was hunting, and he had a good friend running the camera for him. And sure enough, here comes split G3.
It's probably 1 o'clock. We just got set back up, went back in. Had to put a tree stand together for Kurt and Carrie. They're going out this afternoon. I got Matt Bear behind the camera. As coming in here, Kurt got hold of me and says, the Triple Crown's on his way to the north. So we sped down the road, got here, ran in here. He just got set up, and we seen a ton of deer coming in here. Blew out a ton of deer. Hopefully that didn't mess up things, but there's no other way to get in here besides spooking deer, I guess. So fingers are crossed. And we're in the corner set, so anything can happen. He's a nice one. comes in the clearing. Oh, he's coming out. Right here.
Now, Dennis wasn't after split G3, and so he gave him a pass, but that deer gave them a great encounter. And it was really the only footage that we ended up having of him as our season wore on.
This segment is brought to you by Reveal by Tacticam.
So the day after Thanksgiving, I gave one of our team members, Jake Goodwin, a call. We call him Goody. I called him up and he just wanted to know whether or not he could run camera. And sure enough, he was available. So the day after Thanksgiving, we climbed in a tree. It was cold, but it was worth being there. So that morning there were a lot of deer movement. Does were on their feet. We had some small bucks on their feet, even some small bucks that were sparring a little bit. And a couple hours went by and all of a sudden caught movement about 100 yards out. And it was looked like a couple of good bucks. And I couldn't tell exactly who they were, but they definitely got our attention. So as those deer worked closer, I identified one of the biggest of the three, and it was Sleepy Joe. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have an encounter again with Sleepy Joe, and it's late in the season. I've got to find it in my soul to not shoot this deer. And sure enough, he walked 25 yards right in front of the stand. So we gave Sleepy Joe a pass, and it was hard to do, but it was worth it. And the next buck in was a solid three-year-old 8-pointer. And with time running out, not only just time in the season, my vacation time was running out. My wife's patience was running out with me climbing in the stand every chance I got. This was going to be probably my best opportunity to fill my tag here in Iowa. And this buck did not disappoint. He walked literally right underneath the stand and gave me a 10-yard shot, and I absolutely smoked him.
Dude, it's been a long season, and that's one of the 8-pointers that if we could shoot him, we wanted to shoot him. If I couldn't kill one of my target bucks, I wanted to kill one of those nice 8-pointers, and he's a nice 8-pointer. So I couldn't be more stoked. Filled my Iowa tag. Man, that was awesome. Good job, buddy.
Heck yeah, bud.
Yes. All right, well, we're gonna check this blood. Looks like good. It was a good shot. I know that. I know he's dead. Just gonna see if he's right here or if we got a little bit of a tracking job. But if I had to guess, he's not too far down this trail. This is right where I hit him, and we got really good blood. Well, it's been a long, tough season. It's November 26th, and finally filled my Iowa
archery tag. Passed a lot of good deer that'll be absolute monsters, you know, for years to come. But we knew if I was going to take like a deer that, you know, that wasn't one of our target bucks, we wanted it to be an 8-pointer because we just have a ton of 8-pointers on this farm, and it just made sense that if I needed to fill a tag and fill the freezer, that I would want to take one of these nice 8-pointers. And they don't get much nicer than this. He's a nice deer, and I'm happy. So it's on to the next season, but man, this one was fun. Man, it was an exciting season, and I waited a long time for an opportunity, and that's where all the preparation pays off. You know, I had some opportunities at deer throughout the season that weren't quite what I was looking for to shoot, but in the end, the right opportunity presented itself, and I had prepared properly, and it paid off.